This is Coach Wynn. This is Coach Harden. You're listening to Crowley's Ridge Volleyball on Pioneer Digital Network.
And a very pleasant good evening to you, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Carter Activity Center on the campus of Crowley's Ridge College. It has been a long summer, a long, warm summer for those of us in Arkansas, but it has been a phenomenal summer as Crowley's Ridge College has gotten underway. This is only the second home game of the year for the Lady Pioneers of Crowley's Ridge College. That lone home game came away with a victory, 5-set thrilling victory over the Mustangs of Central Baptist College, as the Lady Pioneers get set to play the Bearcats of Rush College. Good afternoon, and I am Dustin Seymour, Sports Information Director for Crowley's Ridge College. Excited for a new season of Pioneer and Lady Pioneer athletics here at the Ridge. Lady Pioneers, the first team to get action in this 2021-2022 season. Lady Pioneers sit at 4-5 after a three-game winning streak. Lady Pioneers last playing Williams Baptist just down the road, picking up a 3-0 sweep over the Eagles, as the Lady Neers then were the victors over Harris Stowe State by a score of 3-1, and then the aforementioned match against Central Baptist. I am joined by my all-time favorite volleyball player. Again, it is because I am legally bound for her to be my favorite. My dear wife, Olivia, alumnus of Crowley's Ridge volleyball at least. She still has one more semester as far as volleyball goes, but she knows her volleyball a lot better than I do. And so, Miss Olivia, tell me, what is so different about this team already doubling their win total from last season? What's different about this Pioneer team?
It's wonderful. They've done so well so far this season, and you can tell every game they're getting better. This year we have a lot of freshmen, a lot of new girls coming in, and so we get to bring in that new skill, that new energy, and we can tell that it's already helping our squad. We've got a new setter this year because our old setter graduated, and so she's doing a wonderful job. She's getting the ball out to everybody, moving it around. And, of course, she got Player of the Week last week. And this week, Caitlin Perkins got Player of the Week. And she's our libero, and she's Player of the Week for a reason. So I'm excited to see where the squad goes because they're so young. They have time and room to grow, and they can only get better from here.
That's right. 5 weeks into the season, Crowley's Ridge has had 2 different players honored as our new conference. It is the same members. As you recall, last season and previous seasons, Crowley's Ridge has competed in the Association of Independent Institutions. Crowley's Ridge still officially is independent, but a conglomeration of those independent schools. All of us decided that needed more of a collaboration, and so we have rebranded. If you are able to see down on the far right side in front of the student section, you see the red, white, and blue C. That is the badge for our new Continental Athletic Conference. The teams you're used to us playing, such as Lincoln Christian, Cotty, schools such as that, are still in that CAC, and so you've been used to hearing us say AII. Now it is the CAC, Continental Athletic Conference. Couple of newcomers in the CAC, including Florida College. Crowley's Ridge will take on Florida College in their first conference game. That will be October 2nd, but we'll get to that momentarily. And so Florida College joining, as is Northern New Mexico College. They've been associate members, but now full-fledged members of the Continental Athletic Conference. All that to say, there have been 5 players of the week in the Continental Athletic Conference, 2 of which were Crowley's Ridge Lady Pioneers, named 3 times. Jaden Hesse, the new setter that Olivia was mentioning, was the setter of the week for the CAC back in week 4. And our beloved KP, Caitlin Perkins, defender of the week in weeks 2 and now week 5. We're going to take a short time out. On the other side, we will preview this matchup and introduce you to the new 2021 Lady Pioneer volleyball squad and get you set for this match between Lady Neers and the Bearcats of Rust College. Keep it here. This is Crowley's Ridge Lady Pioneer Volleyball on the Pioneer Digital Network.
I'm a 40-year-old man that walked in there to get his high school diploma. It was very hard for me, but Miss Araceli, she gave me direction.
At age 47, Marco finished his high school diploma.
50% of getting your high school diploma is walking through those doors. The other 50% is doing the work.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
And welcome back as we are getting set for this contest between Crowley's Ridge College and the Bearcats of Rust College as we look at the two squads going down the line. Crowley's Ridge sitting at 4-5 on the season. The Bearcats at 2-9. Crowley's Ridge, 261 kills, 165 for the visiting Bearcats of Rust College. Lady averaging just shy of 8 kills per set, and the Bearcats just shy of 7. The Lady having a 6.6 attack percentage, and the Rust Bearcats a 3.3% mark. The Pioneers with 234 assists, averaging just shy of 7 assists per set. It's the service aces. That's the important thing for Crowley's Ridge. Crowley's Ridge ranked 25th in the NAIA, with 72 service aces, averaging 2.12. So how does Crowley's Ridge, the service aces, how are you able to have such a high number consistently?
Mainly just practice and making sure that you're holding your nerve when you get back to that serve line. It's a very individualized skill in volleyball that's a team sport. It's just you back there, and it's up to you to not be nervous and just to do that for your team. It just takes dedication and consistency, and if you work on it more and more and more, it builds up and it pays off. So I assume that they've been working on that, and they've been pushing for that, and we're seeing it on the scoreboard.
Well, we are about to send it down to the floor. Public address announcer Matthew Crabtree will have our starting lineups, our pregame prayer, and national anthem. On the other side, we'll give you the starters. Up here, we'll send it down to Matthew Crabtree.
Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2. Good evening, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Carter Activity Center on campus at Crowley's Ridge College. As a night contest, we'll be seeing the Bearcats of Rust Baptist College and your Pioneers of Crowley's Ridge College. Introducing to the floor for the starting lineup for the 2-9 Bearcats is number 11, Crusher Wilkes. Number 13, Olympic Calhoun. Number 14, Dominique Sanders. Number 16, Jada Brooks. Number 17, Jada Campbell. Number 20, Jabria Simmons. Number 1, Amaya Madlock. Number 3, Doria Newton. Number 7, Diana Early. And number 8, Denai Reed. Welcome with me to the floor. Number 2, Ruben Moore. Number 6, Hannah Halverson. Number 9, Amy Hill. Number 10, Payne Quinn. Number 5, Caleb Perkins. Number 11, Alyssa Wyrick. Number 6, Caleb Klein. Number 21, Hudson May. You go to the Pioneers in the 13th.
And we welcome you back. Our referees blew our whistle before we can get our national anthem and pregame prayer underway. And so the teams have gone and gotten to their huddles. think we're double checking now our address announcer, speaking with Coach Wynn, kind of looking over at our referees. I think Coach Wynn's waving it off. It don't look like we'll have our pregame prayer or national anthem. Referee a little ready to get started, blowing the whistle quickly and in a hurry. So we will go ahead and get started in this game. The starting lineups we're going to see first for the Bearcats of Rush College. Tresha Wilkes is a sophomore out of Memphis, Tennessee. She has 9 kills on the season. She'll be joined by Alondria Calhoun. Calhoun, a sophomore out of Fort Defiance, Alabama, last playing at Florida Memorial. Dominique Sanders is a junior who leads her squad, second on her squad with 25 kills. Hometown native of Holly Springs, Mississippi, Jada Brooks will also be on the floor. She is the team leader with 41 kills. The Magic City, Alabama native, Birmingham. The sophomore, Jada Brooks, will be joined by Deja Campbell, the freshman out of Tampa, Florida. And then rounding off Coach Diamond Dewberry's Rust Bearcats is Jabria Simmons, a junior out of Memphis, Tennessee, with 3 kills. On the other side of the court for the Lady Pioneers, Brooklyn Passmore will head out. She'll be the starting server for Crowley's Ridge. Passmore, a 5'8 sophomore out of Floral, Arkansas. Passmore skies it and sends it, and it is just out of play. And so the Bearcats will take the first point of this contest. Also on the court, Jaden Hesse, the 5'5 freshman out of Weiner, Arkansas, former Harrisburg Hornet, joining her former classmate, Olivia Deckelman, on the floor. Set by Hesse will go to Halverson. Halverson underhands it over the net, and that will be a point. Evens it up at 1 apiece. Hannah Halverson on the court, joined by Emmy Elms. Emmy Elms is a 6-foot even sophomore out of Paragould from Crowley's Ridge Academy, one of 3 Paragould natives on the team. As the going over the net, and a over the net violation by the Bearcats will give Crowley's Ridge a 2-1 lead. I'll finally finish the lineup as Paige Glenn, a freshman out of Paragould, 3 Paragould natives from 3 different high schools. Paige Glenn from Paragould High, Emmy from Crowley's Ridge Academy, and Hannah Halverson out of Greene County Tech. That is hit, and that is out of bounds by the Bearcats. Last touch by Jada Brooks, and so it is Crowley's Ridge with a 3-1 lead. So I've been trying to go through the roster. Miss Olivia, how has the match looked thus far?
It's been good. After missing that first serve, KP has come back and has been serving it strong for the Pioneers. One good thing we've seen is the girls aren't giving up on balls. They're playing it through, and that's how we've earned points. And you just got to get them out of system and keep fighting till the end of the point. We're doing that so far.
Off the fingertips of Amaya Madlock, Crowley's Ridge 4 straight points. So it is a 4-1 lead for the hosting Lady Pioneers. It is Jersey Night at the Ridge, as you can see across the way, our student section, repping their favorite sports teams, and we kind of put in parentheses besides Crowley's Ridge, of course. Off the fingertips of Caitlin Perkins, and that'll break a 4-0 run as the Bearcats will now bring their deficit down to 2. It is 4-2 in favor of Crowley's Ridge as Tresha Wilkes heads back, skies her, service, sends it over. Tip over, off the mark, going across, bumps it over. Emmy Elms will find the floor, and that is a point for Emmy Elms. It's a kill from Emmy Elms will make it 5-2 in favor of Crowley's Ridge, sending Olivia Deckelman, the Southpaw senior, going as the Bearcats will try and get back into system. Hannah Halverson goes to Hesse. Hesse to Deckelman. Deckelman swings it off the fingertips of Deja Campbell, free-balling it across. Hesse sets Halverson, and 2 Bearcats will look as it splits the wickets as Hannah Halverson picks up a kill.
That's a really good spot that's been working for the girls. They've been sending it to that deep corner, and it's producing points. So as long as they don't fix their spots on the floor, keep sending it there.
4 of 6 kills for the Lady Pioneers have been off the hand of Hannah Halverson. This one with a little too much mustard on it, as it is now 6-3 as the Bearcats of Rust College, Holly Springs, Mississippi, out of the Gulf Coast Athletic Conference. Service by Dominique Sanders will go into the net. Crowley's Ridge will take advantage of the service error to send Hannah Halverson back to the service line. Halverson sends it over. Tip going to the right side. That's going to be taken by Campbell. Hesse bumps to Halverson. Halverson from behind the 10-foot line to the left side to Calhoun. Calhoun blocked. Back to the left side of the southpaw Campbell. Deckelman takes it to Perkins. Passmore sends it over. The set going back, and that will be a double touch violation on Deja Campbell. Hannah Halverson will move back to the service line. She sends it barely grazing the top of the net. Quick over by the Bearcats. Here's Passmore. Passmore, a little changeup going over. Good save there from Halverson. Here's Passmore. Passmore splits the defenders and gets the kill. Jada Brooks trying to get a fist on it, but it just bumps out of play as Coach Dewberry trying to tell her Bearcats to get ready for those kind of hits. Jada Brooks sets it across the way. Found a good spot, did Campbell. Free ball by Caitlin Perkins, and she finds wide open zone on the back left corner. And Lady Nears now with a 10-3 lead as the Bearcats want to take a timeout as Crowley's Ridge takes a 10-3 lead here in the first set of today's contest. This is Crowley's Ridge Lady Pioneer Volleyball on the Pioneer Digital Network.
Jill, why don't you tell the class what you did this weekend?
Well, my dad and I went in search of some magical minnows and found a zillion of them in the stream from our lookout rock. Then my sister and I escaped from an evil slug king and went back to my super twig fort for safety. Then we told stories till it got dark, and the Big Dipper led us all the way home.
Where were you, Jill?
We went to the forest. It's not that far away.
Ask your parents to take you and your friends to the forest this week. It's closer than you think. Check out discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
This is Alexis Wire. You're listening to Crowley Ridge Volleyball on the Pioneer Digital Net.
Yeah, welcome back to the Ridge as Hannah Halverson sends it across the net. Taken by Campbell. Campbell bumps it over to find Sanders. Sanders sends it over the tape. Here's Passmore. Passmore, the dig, skies high. There's a free ball going to Emmy Elms. Hesse will back set back to Elms. Big time blocked by the black and blue. Caitlin Perkins will free it across the net. Set there by Campbell, trying to get over the net. Cannot. And it is Crowley's Ridge with the kill. Emmy Elms taking that one. Crowley's Ridge in their home greens. Green tops, white trim on the trunks that are black. The libero, Caitlin Perkins, with a gray jersey. The Ridge across the top with white numerals. Brooklyn Passmore to Emmy Elms, and Elms gets the kill. And also a net violation, and so the kill gets a. That's one of those you wish that you could just kind of erase it of. Elms had an easy kill there, but instead that's going to go as a net violation.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. It's whatever happens first is what goes in the book. So even though you got a kill, you don't get credit for it. So it is unfortunate sometimes.
Hesse will bump set it back to Halverson. Halverson, good spot on the floor. The Bearcats will try and camp underneath it. Deckelman will set over to Passmore. Good block there by the Bearcats. That was Deja Campbell had a hand on that. Emmy Elms sends it across the net. Bumps it back, and another double touch violation by the Bearcat. Crowley's Ridge now with a 10-point advantage, 13-3 here in the opening set. Crowley's Ridge looks to break even as they're sitting at 4-5 on the year. And that will be sent out of play by Tresha Wilkes. Sophomore out of Booker T. Washington High School. Anna Halverson continues her run at the service line. Hesse will set Elms. Elms slams it down, but it is out of bounds. And so the Bearcats will break free, and it is now 14-4. They've been stuck on 3 for quite a while.
Yeah, it's always hard when you get stuck in a specific serve-receive rotation, and all you want to do is get out of it and move on, but sometimes it just takes a little longer than you'd like.
Set. Going to Passmore. Picked up by Sanders. The attack there from Calhoun. Passmore's attack. That will break past the defense. And that is a Crowley's Ridge point. Brooklyn Passmore picks up her second kill of the evening. Amy Elms steps to the line. She skies that one, and that one is hit clear past the net, kind of scaring Dominique Sanders back there. She was trying to eye the ball, couldn't decide, and at the last second kind of ducked out of the way. And it is indeed a service error from Amy Elms. 15-5 in favor of the Pioneers. Glances off the top of the net. Perkins now to Passmore via Hesse. Touching the roof. Going over towards the scores table. A great save there by Trisha Wilkes. Unfortunately, it was the third hit, and she sent it back to her side of the court. And so any hit would be the fourth touch, and so it is now 16-5 as Jaden Hesse will send it into the net.
That's one thing. Sometimes as you're playing and you're ahead, you can get really comfortable and not be as diligent, and sometimes that's when service errors can crop in or hitting errors, and you just have to make sure you stay diligent to keep pushing points even though you are ahead.
Amaya Madlock's serve, now taken by Deckelman. Right at the tip of the net. Hesse will back set to Deckelman. The lefty swings. That will go to the Bearcats. Alondria Calhoun, rather. Back to Deckelman. Deckelman will try again. She's been the hot hand, trying to get the kill. Hesse will set to the other side of the net. Paige Glenn tips it over, and that will be another net violation by the Bearcats. And it is now 17-6 in favor of the Lady Neers. Brooklyn Passmore, 5'8" sophomore out of Floral, Arkansas, last playing at Midland High School. Passmore jumps and sends it. Speedy service. Lefty will hit, and that is out by Deja Campbell, as Amaya Madlock was trying to say, hey, let's slow it down a little bit, but instead her teammate sent it skying across, and so the Bearcats trying to recoup. Going to go out and wipe perspiration.
It always seems kind of trivial when you see people running out there with a towel and you're like, what, what's the trouble? Why is it taking so long? Why is that important? But I've been on floors that are so polished that if you don't wipe the floor, you're going to end up throwing a knee, breaking a bone, twisting something. So it's unfortunate, but it's very important to wipe that sweat off the floor.
Service ace by Brooklyn Passmore. Just went off the top of the net. She's second on the team in service aces. Now, we know we saw snow volleyball. I wonder if there's ice volleyball.
I doubt it. I think someone would pull a hamstring or something if there was ice volleyball.
Skating around. That goes off the shoulder of Jaden Hesse into the student section, and unfortunately for the Lady Neers, those students in the student section are not eligible. Ergo, it is a Bearcat ball and point, 19-7 in favor of Crowley's Ridge. Set by Hesse as Glenn mistimed it. Crowley's Ridge trying to break free, finally does, and a very, very dirty point there for Crowley's Ridge, as just kind of barely got it over the net, and the Bearcats were not even expecting it to be able to go over the net.
Yeah, even if you're ready for that, sometimes there's not much you can do with it. It's just so tight that if you try too hard, you'll get in the net and lose the point anyway, so it's hard to do something with that.
Big time swing there from Deja Campbell. A good stop by Caitlin Perkins in the back. That will hit the roof. Going back to Alondria Calhoun. Set from Hesse goes to Deckelman. Deckelman swings off the upper arms of the Bearcat defender, and that's going to go out of bounds. Last touch by Amaya Madlock. Crowley's Ridge inching ever close to the needed 25. It is now 21 serving 7. Caitlin Perkins airs it, sends it It is taken by the Bearcats. Going to Alondria Calhoun, just out of reach of Brooklyn Passmore. So Alondria Calhoun will get credited with a kill. As Tresha Wilkes will go behind the line to serve for the black and blue. And that is way out of bounds. Bearcats in black jerseys, blue numerals with white outline, blue trunks for the Bearcats, and the libero, Amaya Madlock, wearing a gray jersey. Bump set going over to Calhoun. Calhoun sends it across the net. Hesse will bump it back to Halverson, and Halverson puts a little too much on it, and it goes out of play. So it is now 9 serving, 22. Behind the line is Dominique Sanders. Little miscommunication by Crowley's Ridge, but cleaned up there from Caitlin Perkins. Over to Calhoun. Taken up, here is Halverson. Halverson, a little too hard on that one. Hannah Halverson leads the team currently, 4 kills on tonight. Trying to make it 5, but put a little too much on it. Hesse will dump it over the net. Taken there by Jada Brooks. And she'll send that one outside of the line, which will now send Hannah Halverson to the line. Halverson skies it over. Taken by the Bearcats, going over to find Jabria Simmons. Set from Hesse to Passmore. Passmore sends it. That's going and taken by Tresha Wilkes. The attack from Deja Campbell just goes off the top of the net and falls in front of the Lady Pioneers. The Bearcats make it now 23-11. Trying to keep the Lady Pioneers at bay to keep them from taking this set. Perkins bump sets to Elms. Fed by the Bearcats, a big attack, big swing, and a big kill from Jabria Simmons. Her 4th of the year, but it was a big one.
This is the point in the game that you really want to be disciplined and make sure you finish, and that can be very hard for teams. But we can't get comfortable, we can't get lazy, and we just have to make sure to finish. And that block was beautiful.
Major block there from Emmy Elms. Jaden Hesse might have had a little fingertip on that. But the important thing is that the point goes to Crowley's Ridge, and it is now set point. 25 is the number needed to reach by the Lady Nears. It's currently 24. The Bearcats with 12. Paige Glenn to Hesse to Glenn, and Glenn punches it, but punches it too hard. That goes out of play, and the Bearcats will stay alive once more. $12 set points for Crowley's Ridge. Taken up. Bump set. To Brooklyn Passmore. Passmore tries to get it over the line. No, and that will fall. A little miscommunication by the Bearcats will end the opening set as Crowley's Ridge takes set number 1 by a final score of 25-13. We're going to take a timeout. On the other side, we'll have set number 2, Crowley's Ridge with a 1-0 lead. This is Crowley's Ridge Lady Pioneer Volleyball on the Pioneer Digital Network.
I can't believe he found them.
He seems sorry.
We very clearly told him not to look up there.
I'm honestly impressed that he was able to do it.
Right? What, did he balance on that big chair? Or...
Yeah, I mean, I guess he'll just know what his gifts are this year.
I really thought we had hidden them well.
If they can find their presents, they can find a gun.
911, what is your emergency?
Every day, 8 kids and teens are unintentionally killed or injured by loaded and unlocked guns. Learn how to make your home safer at endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and End Family Fire.
Hi, I'm Danica Patrick. Watching my nieces grow, play, and learn is amazing, but not every child gets to be carefree. 1 in 6 kids in the U.S. are hungry. This breaks my heart, and it's something that Feeding America is working to change. Each year, the Feeding America network of food banks rescues billions of pounds of good food that would have gone to waste and gives it to families in need. To help, visit feedingamerica.org.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
This is Olivia Deckelman. You're listening to Crowley's Ridge Volleyball on the Pioneer Digital Network.
And welcome back to the Pioneer Digital Network. Crowley's Ridge takes set number 1 by a final score of 25 to 12. As Crowley's Ridge, 25-13 rather, Crowley's Ridge, 12 kills in that set. A 15.2 attack percentage. The Bearcats getting 5 kills, 6 errors, so a negative 2.3 mark. As the teams will receive encouragement from their various coaching staffs. So, Miss Olivia, what did you see in set 1 that Crowley's Ridge needs to continue to do? And on the other side, what does Russ need to do in order to reset?
Well, for Crowley's Ridge, I liked when they were scrappy. I liked when they went after the ball. They didn't let it just fall in the middle of them or anything. A lot of those points are thanks to Caitlin Perkins, of course. She did some great digging in that game. She saved it from the harder hits that they sent us. So we just need to remain diligent and keep that energy moving forward so that we can keep winning the games as we're going. For Rust, they did a good job. They looked a little frantic to me, and I think that if they could just settle those nerves, get into their groove, they'll push the points that they're wanting, and they'll do a little better that way. But they're scrappy too, and you can't ever count anyone out. So if they pick it up and if they settle down a little bit, they'll be a force to be reckoned with.
Jada Brooks serves it to Crowley's Ridge, and we're underway in set number 2. Brooklyn Passmore hits that into the net. And for the second consecutive set, Rush picks up the first point. As the first time these two teams played, the season opener for Crowley's Ridge, Rush took the opening set before the Lady Pioneers came back to take the last three. Hesse will set, and Hesse will get knocked with a double, and I saw Olivia up here nodding. Definitely a double.
Yeah, you can tell with how the ball comes off the hands, and that time you could hear it off of her hands. So sometimes it's really clear that it is a double, and you agree with the ref, and sometimes it's a little sketchy. So, but that time I agree.
And back-to-back doubles. This time the infractor is Trisha Wilkes. So Brooklyn Passmore goes back to the line. Airs it, serves it, taken by the Bearcats. Here's a set that goes over to Deja Campbell. Jaden Hesse will set Passmore. Passmore, a big swing, but a bigger block by the Bearcat front row. That block credited to Dominique Sanders, junior out of Tampa, Florida. Sets up to Hesse. Hesse. Good front row play by the Bearcats. Passmore sends that over. The attack going to Calhoun. Calhoun goes off the fingertips of the Lady Nears. And then back off of the fingertips of the Bearcats. Which will put KP back to the line, ready to serve. Neither squad using a substitution aside from their untracked libero subs. That up, free over by Olivia Deckelman. Taken over by Trisha Wilkes. The set goes to find Campbell. And it's off the top of the roof. It's still in play, and a great job by the Lady Pioneers to recover and get the point.
That was a great job by KP. She found the hole in the floor. She stayed calm and followed through, and she got the kill from that.
It's one of those that went off the rafters here in the Carter Activity Center that is still in play. A great job by Crowley's Ridge to follow it. Here is Hesse. Hesse to Halverson. Halverson will go attack, and another net violation by the Bearcats. And the Bearcats have not really argued any of them. This time they seem a little more questioning as to who was in it. I think they're concerned about how the referee, the number that he gave.
Yeah, it looked like he said 2 or something, and there's not a number 2 on the floor.
So
But maybe he clarified with the coach.
in any case, that is a point for the Bearcats, and we're all knotted up at 4 points apiece. That's Dominique Sanders will serve it across. Caitlin Perkins with the dig. Punched over by Jaden Hesse. There's Halverson to Elms. Back to Halverson. Halverson's attack is right where it needs to be. Got that up and down move by Tresha Wilkes. You see it in pretty much any sport. With baseball, you don't know if you need to go up for the catch or if you need to go underhand for the catch, and that's exactly the same with volleyball.
Yep.
What are some things that you can do to know which side you need? Do you need to go up or down? What are some things that the players can do?
It's a pretty automatic reaction. The worst time is when it comes right in the center of your body, and in that case, 90% of the time you need to drop your body down. You can't really go up very easily, but you can go down as low as possible, because when it's in the center of your body, you're more likely to shank it or it'll just hit you. So if it's not coming at you in a way you like, most of the time you just got to get lower and readjust your body.
Yeah. Another violation by the Bearcats. Referee giving some explanation to Dominique Sanders. And that goes off the fingertips of Deja Campbell. So the Lady Nears will have Olivia Deckelman as the Lady Pioneers lead at 7-4. That goes just over the net. Taken by Jada Brooks, and she will sky that one into the Crowley's Ridge bench.
It's unfortunate when you keep getting calls against you, especially ones that you don't agree with or don't understand. It's hard to focus on just the fundamentals and getting the ball where you want it. So it'll be interesting to see how the Bearcats respond. And you hear them cheering over there. They're trying to pick themselves back up. So it'll be interesting to see what they do.
Yeah, the big kill there from Hannah Halverson. Yeah, I would think more frustrating would be when you don't know, it's not necessarily you disagree, but you're just like, I don't know what I'm doing wrong.
Yeah, you don't know who's getting called or why, and then they say you did something, and you're like, I didn't feel that. I didn't see that, It can get very frustrating, and you can get in your head. So it's definitely something to fight with.
Big jump there from Deja Campbell, and that's going to find space on the timber. And it is now 10-5. Crowley's Ridge leading the Bearcats as Deja Campbell, left-handed, will knuckleball it, and knuckleball it into the Crowley's Ridge bench. Here we go. It is a point for the Lady Nears. It is now 11-5 as Hannah Halverson will air it across. That's taken by Tresha Wilkes. Bumped up and over. Hannah Halverson finds Shaden Hesse to Passmore. Passmore at the shoulders of Tresha Wilkes, and nobody was around to take it. So it is a Crowley's Ridge point, 12-5. Hannah Halverson, 7 kills, leading all players. High set there, goes to find Alondria Calhoun. And that will be a Crowley's Ridge point out of play, and that will be enough for Coach Dewberry as she wants to call for time. And so we will take that timeout with them. Crowley's Ridge currently leading 13-5 with a 1-0 lead. We're taking a timeout. This is Crowley's Ridge College Lady Pioneer Volleyball on the Pioneer Digital Network.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have arrived in Philadelphia. Local time is 3:05 p.m. and the temperature is 67 degrees. At this time, you are now free to use your cellular devices.
You know that feeling when you get to turn your phone on after the plane lands? You can have that feeling every time you drive. Make sure your cell phone is stowed away whenever you are behind the wheel.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Okay, kids, Dad's gonna teach you how to dance. First, spread your feet apart. Then, pump your knee, nod your head, shake your hips, and bite your lip ever so slightly. Now, with one hand in the air, point at people with the other hand. I call that the rock star.
Dance like a dad. It's a great way to make a moment with your kids.
Now, make a face like it just smells something bad.
Visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
This is Hannah Jean Halverson. You're listening to Crowley's Ridge Volleyball on the Pioneer Digital Network.
Big block there by the Bearcats. So coming out of the timeout, Bearcats getting the point.
That actually was a Pioneer point because the hitter tooled it off the block, which means it bounced back out, so the Pioneers get the point.
Oh, look at that. 14 serving 5 now. Going across by Tresha Wilkes. Jaden Hesse to Brooklyn Passmore. Passmore finding onto the floor for the first time now is Diana Early. Bumps it over. This goes to Deja Campbell. Dug out by Hannah Halverson. Here's Olivia Deckelman. Going off the fingers of the Bearcats. Hesse going up to Passmore. Off the fingertip of the Bearcat block. Great diving stop there by Deja Campbell. To Olivia Deckelman. Going up to Halverson. Halverson's attack is out of play. Correction, that was Amy Elms with a little too much mustard on it. Back to serve is Alondria Calhoun. Calhoun leads her team with 6 digs. Attacked by Passmore. Good stop there from Alondria Calhoun, keeping it in play. That is just in play. Took him a minute. It was just out of play. The down ref was signaling it, and the up ref had to be the one that called it. And it took a few volleys before they decided, and Dominique Sanders is disagreeing vehemently.
It was kind of hard to see from our angle based on where the pole is from us. It looked really close, so I would trust their eyesight better than ours because of our angle, but it was a very close ball.
The down referee was almost immediately signaling that it was out. And it took a few, it went over to Crowley's Ridge way, and Crowley's Ridge sent it, and it went back before the referee on the stairs saw that it was where it needed to be. And so now we're ensuring everybody's where they need to be so they don't get out of system, don't get a out of rotation violation. Looks like all is well, and Crowley's Ridge with a 15-6 lead will send Emmy Elms to serve. Attack coming from Deja Campbell, and that is just out of play. Crowley's Ridge now with a 16-6 lead. Lady Nears with a 1-0 set advantage in this best of 5. Set goes back. That's taken by Diana Early. Set by Hesse to Passmore. Passmore found a good spot, but it was taken. Here's Early going to Elms. Elms misplayed it and just out of play. Good try by the Lady Pioneers as Elms had misplayed it. Halverson kept it in play, and Elms just kind of wildly swung at it, but it went out of play. Bearcat service. Amaya Madlock sends it across. Jaden Hesse to Paige Glenn. Blasted it, but we have a net violation. And this time, Dominique Sanders can hardly hold her frustration. And
they're saying it's number 14, which would be the captain. She may not be feeling it. It may be her hair, her jersey. Anything that's connected to you can count as part of your body. So she may not be doing it with her hands. That could be some of her gear or something doing it, and that's frustrating because she may not know that she's doing it.
Right.
I'm not sure.
Kaylee Klein will enter for the Lady Pioneers. Kaylee Klein, a Jonesboro native, last playing for the Westside Warriors. Jaden Hesse serves. Taken by Paige Glenn, pops it over. Amaya Madlock goes and finds Calhoun. Hit by Klein, and that will be a kill off the hands of the Bearcat block. (19 serving 7, Jaden Hesse. Airs it, sends it. That is an overpass that goes right to Kaylee Klein. Kaylee Klein enters and in 2 volleys has 2 points. And the Bearcats want to take the timeout, and so we will take it with them. Last timeout of the set, Crowley's Ridge leads it 20-7. Kaylee Klein enters, and within 2 volleys, she has 2 points. We'll take a timeout. This is Crowley's Ridge Lady Pioneer Volleyball on the Pioneer Digital Network.
Para mucha gente del país, tener un día de
Man, I love my kids so much. I once sat for 3 hours in the cold rain to watch her soccer team lose by 18 goals.
I love my kids so much, I once used a tube to suck snot out of her stuffed nose at 3 a.m.
You win.
Love your kids? Love them enough to make sure they're in the right car seat. From toddlers to tweens, visit nhtsa.gov/the right seat to find the right seat for their age and size. Keep them safe. Visit nhtsa.gov/the right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
First, I hold my hands out like they're on a steering wheel. Then I look over my shoulder. 1, okay, cool guy. 2, 3 times. Next, oh, I put it in reverse. Meep, meep, meep. Then I take it up and down, up and down. And that, kiddos, is called the forklift.
Dance like a dad. It's a great way to make a moment with your kids.
Now that's dancing. Sure beats flossing.
Visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
This is Brooklyn Passmore. You're listening to Crowley's Ridge Volleyball on the Pioneer Digital Network.
Quick attack by the Bearcats. No, Crowley's Ridge, that was out. So a quick attack by the Bearcats had a little too much on it. It is now 21-7. Jaden Hesse continues her run at the service line. Amaya Madlock takes it, going over by Tresha Wilkes. And that will be a net violation on Crowley's Ridge, and a bit of a cheer for the Bearcats as they have been the victim of that many times. And so have a little cheer of now they get to be the recipients of a point. Diana Early send it over. Here's a set going to Deja Campbell off the net. Kaylee Klein takes it. Jaden Hesse to Hannah Halverson. Bumps by Dominique Sanders, across by Amaya Madlock. Set going to Passmore. And that will split the defenders. Crowley's Ridge gets the point. Hannah Halverson picks up 7. Brooklyn Passmore just behind her with 5 kills. That serve is just on the line. And it is a service ace by Brooklyn Passmore. Passmore, one of the better servers for Crowley's Ridge. That is her, 20th service ace of the season. Make it 21. As the Bearcats were unable to take that, and it is now set point. Hudson Durrett onto the court for the Lady Pioneers. Brooklyn Passmore, back-to-back service aces. Another one could be the nail in the coffin of set number 2. Alondria Calhoun goes over to Deja Campbell off the shoulder of Brooklyn Passmore. And the Bearcats will stay alive. 16 set points coming. We learned that watching volleyball on the Olympics. I think we're all watching volleyball now. This means there are 16 different chances for the Bearcats and make it 15 as the Bearcats get a block.
You don't want to let the momentum shift here. You want to go ahead and side out if you're Crowley's Ridge so you can get this point and close this set before they can come back and get close to you again.
Tresha Wilkes will have to be the server for the Bearcats, and she will need to be there for a while as the next point for the Lady Pioneers will be the set. Here is Kaylee Klein off the tip, and that is the set. Crowley's Ridge will take set number 2 by a final score of 25-10. After a 25-10 victory, combine that with the 25-13 victory in set 1, Crowley's Ridge a set away from breaking even on the season as we will move to the 3rd set. Crowley's Ridge leads it 2-0. This is Crowley's Ridge College Lady Pioneer Volleyball on the Pioneer Digital Network.
Why is the basketball court all wet? Because the players have dribbling on it.
The dad joke. Corny, groan-worthy, but also one of the simplest ways to share a moment with your kids.
What did the buffalo say when he dropped his son off at school? Bye, son.
So take a moment to make your kid laugh, because dad jokes rule. Make your kid laugh today. Go to fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
I'm a 40-year-old man that walked in there to get his high school diploma. It was very hard for me, but Miss Araceli, she gave me direction.
At age 47, Marco finished his high school diploma.
50% of getting your high school diploma is walking through those doors. The other 50% is doing the work.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
This is Emmy Elms. You're listening to Crowley's Ridge Volleyball on the Pioneer Digital Network.
Welcome back to Crowley's Ridge College. I'm Dustin Seymour, joined by Miss Olivia Seymour. Crowley's Ridge taking a 25-10 set victory after a 25-13 win. Crowley's Ridge a set away from victory. What do the Lady Pioneers need to do to take up that sweep?
They just need to stay consistent. At the end there was a little bit of they weren't frantic, but it wasn't clean. They were a little out of system, and they just need to keep their fundamentals going and stay strong and finish how they've been doing. If they can keep the momentum from the Bearcats and keep from making silly mistakes, they'll pull this one out.
Thus far, the Bearcats and the Pioneers both have attempted 74 attacks. The big difference, the Bearcats 10 kills, Pioneers 23. And another big difference, of those, despite the 10 kills, the Bearcats have had 13 attack errors for a negative 4.1%. Pioneers just 9 attack errors, giving them 18.9% hitting percentage, which is well above their average. That is always one of the first things you want to clean up. And Lady Pioneers have done just that. Brooklyn Passmore will go behind the service line. Her service goes, finding Amaya Madlock. It's going to be set there by Jada Brooks. Block by the Lady Pioneers. Just getting over, and a great hit by Dominique Sanders. She slammed it down.
Third set in a row that the Bearcats have come out and started the game with a point.
And another discussion between our up ref and Dominique Sanders. In any case, Jada Brooks now. Set taken. And a punch there by Sanders goes to Brooklyn Passmore to Olivia Deckelman. Deckelman goes off the tape, and that will fall. Crowley's Ridge gets the point that went off the fingertips of the Bearcat defense. Galen Perkins returns for service. Taken up by Passmore to Deckelman. Deckelman goes back to Halverson off the fingertip of Sanders. Going over to find Wilkes. Quick fight, and that is a kill again by Dominique Sanders. Flexing is the junior out of Holly Springs. Dominique Sanders up to now 4 kills. Trisha Wilkes airs it over. Set up. Bouncing around the Bearcat defense, and that will go towards the stage. And that is Crowley's Ridge point. They're all knotted up at 2 each. Deckelman goes behind the line. Sent across there. The set going over now for Zanaya Myers. A free ball taken. Hesse to Halverson. Madlock. And miscommunication as that goes in between a circle of 6. And it is now 3 serving 2. Olivia Deckelman sends it. Taken by Deja Campbell, sent over by Sanders. Hesse bumps to Elms, a big-time block by Dominique Sanders, and she flexes, and for good reason. Sanders coming into the game with 17 stuffs, and she now has 4 in this contest. Now 21 on the season for the junior. Back set goes to find Campbell. Diving Perkins. And Brooklyn Passmore's attack goes into the net. And the Bearcats will take a 4-3 lead as Dominique Sanders back to serve. Airs it over. Perkins with it to Elms. Elms smashes it. Taken there from Brooks. The attack by Myers, and that is in the net. So we're all tied up once again at 4 apiece. Hannah Halverson approaches the service line. She'll knuckle it over. Taken by Wilkes. Here's the attack from Deja Campbell. Jaden Hesse sets Brooklyn Passmore. Passmore will send it across off the left hand of Jada Brooks. She'll send that into the scorer's table. Coach Hinklin will take it, but we'll have to just send it back. Halverson serves. Picked up and slammed by Emmy Elms. Emmy Elms makes it now 6-4 as Hannah Halverson will go back, and she will air it across. Taken by Sanders, punched over by Brooks. Hesse sets for Elms. Elms goes high to Brooks. Attack there from Zanaya Myers, and that is in the net. Crowley's Ridge with a 7-4 advantage. And that does not cross the net. Crowley's Ridge with a 5-point run. All with Hannah Halverson serving. Taken by Sanders. The bump by Brooks. Going to Campbell. Hesse sets Elms. Elms rocks and fires. Good move there. Taken by Passmore. And a quick push. And a good play there from Caitlin Perkins to try and dive out. But a better move by Deja Campbell to just push it back to an open back corner.
That's a very good spot. That's where you're told to send it by your coach, especially if you're setting it back there. You just want to push it as hard as you can to that deep corner, and it worked out for them.
Hesse will set Passmore. Passmore whops and goes too far out of play. It is now 6 serving 8 as Deja Campbell returns to serve. Set going over, and that will be a lift by the Bearcats.
That kind of call is kind of up to the judgment of the referee. They could have also called that a carry, but
especially
I'm
with
surprised
it being
they didn't call it a carry.
Yeah, with it being an overhand attack, it's kind of odd to see a lift call.
I've tipped like that, and it's we just call it power tipping. Some refs don't like it and will call that, and some refs are fine with it. So it just really depends on their preference.
In any case, the point goes to the Bearcats now, 7 serving 9. At the service line, Zanaya Myers, a freshman out of West Monroe, Louisiana. Going over to Wilkes. The dive by Halverson, a good quick over there from Jaden Hesse. Perkins to Glenn. Set going over, a big attack from Jabria Simmons. Passmore will go out of bounds. And the Bearcats within a lone point, tying up the Pioneers. Attack goes. Jaden Hesse airmails it over to find Paige Glenn. Goes up to Wilkes, and Wilkes sends that one out of play. Crowley's Ridge gets the point. Substitution by the Bearcats. Anaya Myers will exit. Alondria Calhoun enters. Pioneers get the point on that. 11 serving 8 now with Jaden Hesse stepping behind the line. The bump and a good block there from Paige Glenn. A whistle, and in the net are the Bearcats. Here is Jaden Hesse. 12 serving 8. Hesse sends it across. That's taken by Sanders. Up by Wilkes. Set by Hesse. Goes to Passmore. Passmore doubles it, and that will hit the line. Sanders was chasing it. Gave a hope that it would go out of play, but it just hit the wall. And that is on the line, and on the line is in. 13 serving 8. Jaden Hesse takes her bounces. Sends it across as Deja Campbell and Dominique Sanders both try to attack it, and neither can get it, and that will be calls for a timeout. Correction, that was Alondria Calhoun and Deja Campbell teaming up trying to get that. But it is a timeout. Pioneers now lead at 14-8. Crowley's Ridge needs to push 11 points to take a 3-0 set match win. Now we have a minute left in this timeout. This is Crowley's Ridge, Lady Pioneer Volleyball on the Pioneer Digital Network.
Why was the basketball court all wet? Because the players kept dribbling on it.
The dad joke. Corny, groan-worthy, but also one of the simplest ways to share a moment with your kids.
What did the buffalo say when he dropped his son off at school? Bye, son.
So take a moment to make your kid laugh, because dad jokes rule. Make your kid laugh today. Go to fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Hi, I'm Danica Patrick. Watching my nieces grow, play, and learn is amazing, but not every child gets to be carefree. 1 in 6 kids in the U.S. are hungry. This breaks my heart, and it's something that Feeding America is working to change. Each year, the Feeding America network of food banks rescues billions of pounds of good food that would have gone to waste and gives it to families in need. To help, visit feedingamerica.org.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
This is Brooklyn Passmore. You're listening to Crowley's Ridge Volleyball on the Pioneer Digital Network.
Joust at the net goes in favor of the Bearcats. So out of the timeout, Rust College picks up the point, and it's now 9 serving 14. Amaya Madlock sends it to Caitlin Perkins, back to Jaden Hesse. Paige Glenn's attack, and that is down for the kill. Legionnaires needing to push 10. Brooklyn Passmore skies it, sends it, taken by Madlock. Overpass, joust again. And that once more will go Bearcat way. So now Jada Brooks heads to the line. Jada Brooks, a right-sided sophomore out of Fairview Heights, last playing for the Hornets of Harris Stowe State. And that will be a kill from Hannah Halverson. With Caitlin Perkins going to serve, Emmy Elms will replace Paige Glenn. The jump, the set. the attack, and that is a net violation by the Bearcats. As Diamond Dewberry almost having to exit the floor out of frustration out of all of the net violation calls on her Bearcats. And running in to themselves are a couple of Bearcat players, and so it is Crowley's Ridge point, 18 serving 10. Kaylin Perkins fastballs it over the net. Here is Campbell. Campbell gets blocked by Olivia Deckelman and Emmy Elms. So Elmselman block. Perkins sends it over, and that is on the line. As you might be able to hear, the Rust College Bearcat bench unhappy with that call. The line judge indicated that was indeed in. So it is now 20 serving 10. Perkins knuckleballs it.
That was a good short serve.
And that goes right on the floor. And Coach Dewberry said, since y'all did nothing, y'all got to do some floor spins.
Yeah, it's interesting when coaches do that during games, but that's you didn't dive for it to save the point. You're going to dive for it now.
Here is the attack from Calhoun. Back to Perkins. Perkins sends it. That is tipped at the net by Dominique Sanders. And that is down the point for Tresha Wilk. 10-point spread. Crowley's Ridge sitting at 21. Rust College sits at 11. Speaking of 11, Tresha Wilkes wearing the number 1 twice on the front of her jersey. Overpass by the Pioneers, and the point by Dominic Sanders is no question. Overpass is sometimes the best set you can get. And it is 12 serving 21. And Olivia Deckelman misses that serve. And so the Bearcats getting a couple of points. And a good down rep going over to speak to Coach Wins and make sure that you're staying in rotation as Alexis Wyrick is in. But missing the serve there was Tresha Wilkes. And with that, Pioneers break the point, and it is now 13-22 in favor of the green and black. Hit from Deja Campbell goes to Caitlin Perkins. Jaden Hesse now to Halverson. Good stop from Madlock. Goes across to Calhoun. Halverson hits it across. Set goes to Calhoun. Perkins. Hesse. Halverson. Blocked. Halverson keeps it alive to Hesse, who goes back to Halverson. Halverson onto the floor. And it is a 10-point differential once again. 23 serving 13. Olivia Deckelman sends it across with that left hand. And that is out. A good attempt there from Alondria Calhoun to try and keep it over, and it is now match point. Crowley's Ridge a lone point away from breaking even, as Coach Diamond Dewberry is already packing things up, and that'll do it. So a straight set victory for Crowley's Ridge with a 25-13 victory. In set number 3, Crowley's Ridge will take straight set win. And with that, they'll break even for the first time since the beginning of the season. Five wins and 5 losses now for Crowley's Ridge, as Crowley's Ridge wins it 25-13, 25-10, and then 25-13 once again. We're going to take a short pause. On the other side, we'll give you the game statistics and set you up for the next games. Lady Nears pick up the victory 3-0. This is Crowley's Ridge College Lady Pioneer Volleyball on the Pioneer Digital Network.
Jill, why don't you tell the class what you did this weekend?
Well, my dad and I went in search of some magical minnows and found a zillion of them in the stream from our lookout rock. Then my sister and I escaped from an evil slug king and went back to my super twig fort for safety. Then we told stories till it got dark, and the Big Dipper led us all the way home.
Where were you, Jill?
We went to the forest. It's not that far away.
Ask your parents to take you and your friends to the forest this week. It's closer than you think. Check out discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
This is Coach Wynn. This is Coach Harden. You're listening to Crowley's Ridge Volleyball on Pioneer Digital Network.
And we welcome you back for the final time as Crowley's Ridge takes a 3-0 victory over the Bearcats of Rust College. Crowley's Ridge with 30 kills for a 14.4 hit percentage. Bearcats 16 kills, 23 errors, giving them negative 6.4. Crowley's Ridge had 27 assists to the Bearcats' 10. Crowley's Ridge, you ready for this? 11 service aces.
Ooh.
That has been the story for Crowley's Ridge. 11 service aces. The Bearcats with 1 service ace. Crowley's Ridge 67 digs for the Bearcats 52. 11 reception errors by Rust College, 1 for Crowley's Ridge. 8 total blocks for CRC, 5 solo, and 6 assists. And the Bearcats 5 total blocks, 4 solo, and then 2 assists. As we look at the individual statistics, leading the way, Hannah Halverson, 10 kills, a double-double with 10 kills, 16 digs. Behind her, Brooklyn Passmore, 6 kills, Emmy Elms with 5. Service aces galore. Brooklyn Passmore and Caitlin Perkins both with a trifecta each of service aces. Olivia Deckelman and Jaden Hesse both had 2. And for digs, Caitlin Perkins 26, Hannah Halverson 16. And Emmy Elms led the way in the blocking category with 4 total blocks. On the other side for the Bearcats, Jada Brooks and Deja Campbell led the way, 4 kills each. Dominique Sanders was just behind them with 3. 12 digs had Jada Brooks to lead the way for the Bearcats. Total blocks, Dominique Sanders, 5 stuffs for Dominique Sanders. So Crowley's Ridge will get the victory, going to 5-5 on the season. The Bearcats will fall to 2-10. As we look at the upcoming schedule, Crowley's Ridge will continue a long road trip. Crowley's Ridge only had 6 home games scheduled. One of those has been since canceled. And so now down to 5 home games, one of which has already been played, and now the second of which has been played. So Crowley's Ridge will have a long road trip. They will visit Nashville, Tennessee, where they'll take on Fisk and Florida College. That will be October 2nd at 11 against the Bulldogs of Fisk, and then the Falcons of Florida College at 1 o'clock. And that will be the first CAC conference game for the Lady Pioneers before they will travel to Rubel Arena in Mount Pleasant, Iowa, to new CAC member Iowa Wesleyan. They will have a full slate of conference games against Cotty, Bacone, Lincoln Christian, Haskell, and Iowa Wesleyan. We will not have another broadcast until October 12th. October 12th, the Williams Baptist University Eagles will venture 20 miles eastward to face off with the Lady Pioneers. That will start at 6 p.m. We'll be here for every serve, every kill on October 12th. We thank you for joining us tonight as Crowley's Ridge picks up the 3-0 victory over the Rust College Bearcats. We wish our friends from Holly Springs safe travels back to the Mississippi, back to the SIP, back to Mississippi, and hope to see them return well. Coming up next is Fisk University. Thank you for joining us tonight. For my dearest Olivia Seymour, we thank you for joining us. Until we see you again, good night, and God bless.